we all love a good airport job, especially one that allows you to work from home. Southwest is hiring for remote opportunities, and I have special bonus opportunities that do not require a degree, and they provide you with all the equipment for you to work from home in your pajamas. So let's hop right in because these jobs will not last long. But first, I gotta do shout outs because we've had so many Pay Bump members that have landed jobs at airlines at places like Delta and places like Southwest. And so Miss Cassie is one of those people. And she just said, Jazzy, I just want to thank you for everything that you do for us. I landed a conditional job offer from Southwest today for the customer service and support role. I used your tips for the interview and for polishing up my resume. I start training in August. Thanks again. Congratulate Miss Cassie. Okay, show her some love in the comments. Now, if that excited you, go ahead and hit that like button, like smash the like button. Let's all get excited because when we get excited, we operate on a high vibration. And that is also how we attract blessings to us. So smash that like. And oh, by the way, you guys blew up my comments in the last video saying, I'm next, I'm next, I'm next. And I just wanted to show you what happens when you put your intention into the universe and you put that energy in the universe, because the wonderful Miss Need to Know said, hi, Jazzy. I just wanted to let you know that I had my video interview with Yelp just yesterday for the retention specialist position. It had the standard questions. It went well. And she said, I wasn't going to apply because I didn't have a bachelor's degree. But then I remembered your previous video and how you talked about experience versus schooling. So I hit submit. Thank you so much for all that you do. Do you guys see what happens when when I tell you to comment, I'm next, I will get my job next? Do you see what happens? Literally 2 days after that video, she already has an interview with Yelp, one of the biggest advertising companies and marketing, just ever. Good things happen to people that clap for other people, right? So when you're saying I'm next, but you're also congratulating someone else for making progress and you're happy for them, that goes a long way. And that is how you attract blessings and abundance into your life. So go ahead, show her some love, tell her congratulations, and make sure you continue saying I'm next. Congratulations, girl. And I'm next. Okay. And then we have one more super quick shout out because some of you sometimes comment, it's your first time watching my videos and you're like, Jazzy, I need help. I don't know what to do. And then I have my pay bumpies in the comments. Sometimes I don't see this, but one of my pay bumpies said, girl, you need pay bump. There are so many resources. The resumes make a huge difference. Check it out. Even if you try for a short time, you won't be disappointed. I love and appreciate when you guys talk to each other and encourage each other. This is a difficult, rough time for some people, and I love that we uplift each other. We're all one big happy family, so thank you for uplifting each other, and make sure you comment below. Continue saying I'm next, okay? And continue clapping for others. Tell them congratulations. Tell them I'm proud of you. Tell them something, but just clap for other people so that your blessing can come around. Now let's get back into these jobs. So super quick, you guys know that Netflix was still hiring. I just wanted to let you know this position is still available. It's the technology experience specialist. Now this is for all of my people that are like, Jazzy, I'm technical, but I'm not like an engineer technical. Well, this job deals with doing Zendesk tickets and also working in things like Jira to report bugs. So if you're someone that's like, yeah, I'm technical, but I don't want to be like a software engineer technical, this job is very, very ideal for people like you. And again, as I've said before, it does not require a college degree. Netflix, of all places, is saying we will take your experience over the degree. Now, that's not to shun anybody that has a degree. I'm just saying for those that don't, you shouldn't feel like you shouldn't be applying. You should absolutely be applying because they're saying if you can figure out how to use Zoom and if you can figure out how to use things like Microsoft Office, that's enough for us. Okay. We'll teach you everything else. And yes, this is one of those super high paying jobs. It starts at a minimum of 100K and can go up way on top of that. But again, this is a kind of like a split between stock and your base salary. So you get to choose if you want more base salary or if you want more stock. Me personally, I would take more stock. Just saying. Now, the next opportunity that we have is going to be for a company called Ramp. They are hiring for a customer experience agent. Now, if you want to work in an office, you can do it in their New York or Miami or San Fran office, but they are also hiring remote throughout the US for those of you that choose to be at home in your pajamas. So again, very simple customer support sort of job. You guys know what that entails. Sometimes you might be emailing, sometimes you might be doing chat support, or you may be discussing issues over the phone with customers, but you always want to make sure that you are essentially getting that verification from the recruiter as far as how the support will be done. But because they mention you having experience with Zendesk, I can almost guarantee that this is going to be more of a ticket-based role or a email-based role, since that's kind of like the model that most SaaS companies are shifting to. And as far as the pay, it's going to go up to that 70K range, depending on where you live. Those of you that don't live in the Bay Area or NYC, that range is going to go from 48 to 65. Yes, you're going to get your full benefits and parental leave. And if you were thinking about relocating to New York or San Francisco, they will do that and assist with that. But if you're not, you can just work remotely. So one more position they have is a compliance specialist position, okay? If you don't know what that is the people that essentially, if you ever work in any type of banking, they might be in the backgrounds monitoring for suspicious activity. Is there a person that is always like submitting chargebacks, like frivolously submitting chargebacks or frivolously submitting disputes? Is there any particular merchant that they're working with that is known for doing things like that? So if you ever worked in compliance, even if it's not financial institution type compliance, it doesn't matter if you work more so on like the security side, or perhaps you work in a school and you were kind of responsible for compliance when it comes to student records, or maybe you were responsible for keeping healthcare data safe. All of that is compliance. So you should be applying for this sort of stuff ASAP, because I've already customized the resumes for you. I've already made it super duper ATS friendly so that you can beat the system that was kind of designed to keep some of you out of it. So we use AI to power these resources so that you're able to get past the ATS system. Now, this is a very high paying job as well. It is going to go into that mid 6-figure range. So very, very good salary here. And that does come with the performance bonuses as well. So make sure you're applying for this. Resumes are available in the portal at paybump.com. Now, I know we've talked about Southwest before. I just want to point out that for those of you that are like, Jazzy, I don't want a remote job. I got to get out of this house. They do have several locations that are hiring for things like ramp agent, everything from that to risk and compliance. They've got some accounts payable representative positions. And I know there are locations on here, but many of these positions are open to remote. So make sure you're clicking into these positions, because it says down at the bottom that if you're able to work remotely, that's fine. You might have to just occasionally travel for like a business meeting once or twice a year. So please don't let that discourage you from applying from these jobs, okay? Everybody is willing to take you remotely if you're someone that has the experience and has that discipline to work remotely. But for those of you that are super techie, I know sometimes you're like, Jazzy, I'm a software engineer. Why don't you ever post those sorts of positions? Well, here they are right here. So Southwest is hiring for a software engineer. Yes, you get all the benefits, and they start at 155. Like, that is a super high range, because on top of that, you can get the compensation bonuses based on your performance. Of course, you get to fly free. Of course, you get a really huge 401k with a 9.3% match. That is like unheard of. So, and then in addition to that, as we said, you get the annual profit sharing. So there is just a lot that you could do once you start working at a place like Southwest. And another position that they've got open that is, again, a remote position is the network engineer role. So if you or somebody you know is looking for these types of positions, then yes, these are remote positions because it says the majority of your working time will be spent in an approved remote location away from corporate. Okay. So I just want to put that out there because I know somebody's going to be like, Jazzy, that doesn't say remote. And that's why you have to read and you have to click into these opportunities to make sure that you're getting all of the information. Now, for all of my people that are like, Jazzy, I am looking for something that's more executive assistant, that sort of thing. Alma is actually hiring for an executive position here, an executive assistant position. So doing all the things that an administrator would do. They support the C-suite. They schedule things. They monitor calendars. They are the people that keeps all of the fires at bay, right? But look what they pay for you to be an executive assistant, right? 100K to 120K easily. And that's not even including like your bonuses and things related to that. I do want to point out they are a remote first company. So keep that in mind. If you're someone that's like, oh, I like to do this kind of work in the office. Like, no, this is like like remote sort of position, right? But again, many, many benefits. So make sure you're looking into this. And if you guys were wondering what the position was that one of our pay bump members was able to land that interview with Yelp so quickly, we talked about the account executive and then the sales retention specialist position. Again, if you don't speak Spanish, that's okay, because sometimes they're like, oh, we actually have enough bilingual people on the team, so now we can open this up. So like she said in her testimonial, she said, Jazzy, I didn't have a bachelor's degree and I wasn't even going to apply, but guess what? I hit apply and I landed the interview and the interview went amazing. So this is why I'm telling you to always be applying for these positions and continue clapping for people. When we clap for people and we tell them congratulations, and when we say I'm next, that is putting such positive intention into the universe, and that allows us to attract our blessings. Now, as I always say, if you need additional help, come talk to me inside of the portal. We have a dedicated career coach in there that can answer questions for you. If you're feeling a little stuck, make sure you're using the resources, okay? Don't be afraid to invest in yourself. Not investing is the biggest mistake that you can make, because as I always say, if you stay ready, you never ever have to get ready. Oh,